What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 10
That's
of
right.
Soulscast. Episode 10, guys.
2.5 months.
Big moment. My name is Jake Landis, and with me, as always, Mr. Pursueth himself,
What's up, guys?
Bryce Gardner.
That's right.
Thanks for being with me here today, sir.
That's right.
That's right.
Not just today. It's been all day yesterday.
All day.
Really all day
yeah.
today as soon as we woke up.
We've been busy, guys.
Yeah.
Had a lot going on the past couple days, but...
Yeah, we haven't been able to get out as much content as we'd like to.
Well, there's been a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
E3.
Yeah.
E3 is happening.
That's huge.
Which is what today's episode is about. We're going to be breaking down what we've thought about the conference so far, standout games from Sony and Microsoft. We also have some rumors and speculation circling the community about From Software's next 3 titles.
Yeah.
3 titles in development.
3 tittles.
3 tittles. So yeah, big news this week. A lot going on. I mean, what are you most excited about? You want to talk about FromSoft first? You want to talk about E3? What do you want to get into?
What I want to talk about, honestly, is the fact that it's been good being able to catch up for the last month. Every Monday and Tuesday we dedicate to the channel. We try to get things done.
Right.
That's something that we haven't had as much time for lately because real life things come
Right.
up and it happens. But we've
still been getting the Soulscast out.
Oh yeah, we still do Soulscast.
We introduced NLX IRL, which the next episode of that should be coming very soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've just been kind of doing a lot of different things.
Yep.
And
But today and yesterday we caught up. We went through a lot of technical difficulties. We figured out some new ways to record some things that are just going to help us bring better quality videos to every single person that enjoys sharing that time with us.
Yeah.
And that's very important. Getting onto E3, though, the real topic of today's podcast, I just had to touch on that because it's been something that's been weighing on my mind, you know?
Sure.
It just feels good to... We've done a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I slept for like 5.5 hours last night, and we've been going all day doing stuff, you know?
Yep, we're pretty much back to business
Full steam
as usual.
ahead. But so I can say right now there's 4 things that were announced in E3 that I'm for sure going to probably talk a decent amount about today. 4 things for sure that really have my excitement more than anything else.
Okay.
I got 1 Wii U title.
Right.
1 Xbox and PC title. 2 PS4 titles.
All right. Now, I'm just going to start running through things here, and we're just going to pretty much... I basically made a list of every game that seemed pretty exciting that I'm personally excited for and kind of feel that most people will feel like is worth talking about. We're not going to talk about Madden. We're not going to talk about... So basically, yeah, we're like games that...
We're heavily biased. We like certain types of games.
Games that actually are important.
That's not even fair to say. That's so unfair.
All right.
Because here's one thing that was dropped at E3. Microsoft is doing some really cool shit where their games, most of their games now are going to be on both PC and Xbox, and they're going to be able to play everything together.
Yeah.
Not only that, they dropped this thing called Microsoft Arena where the community can set up tournaments with times and dates and da-da-da-da-da and brackets. And they're talking FIFA, they're talking sports games. So there is going to be some cool stuff going on with that. But realistically, that's not things that we really know.
It's cool for esports and stuff. But
it's
yeah.
cool. That's not stuff that we know about.
So,
everything that we like is still... We like RPGs, Souls-based games, things similar to a Souls game, or things with that meat.
Right.
So
I
don't know.
Getting into E3, going over Sony's conference first and foremost, hit us with that God of War.
Yeah.
The new God of War game
it's a
actually
trailer that's a must-see.
Seems really cool. You know, I kind of feel like they changed the overall like concept of the game. I feel like the old games, the camera was pulled like way back, and you kind of saw Kratos like fighting like crazy stuff all in the air.
It was about having your combos down and knowing when to use what combo.
What I really liked about the footage that we saw, which I mean, assuming it was true gameplay footage, which it seemed like, the camera's like much closer to his back. It seems like more like personal, like more like up close and kind of a little bit more visceral, where like old God of War games seemed a little bit more about the combos and this and that. This one, it was like you're close enough to see the impact of everything that he's doing, and there's a little bit more weight and like
There's
the tone
also
was a little bit more real and serious.
the depth to the story is obviously if you have a story that it's involving gods and all of these creatures from different branches of mythology. Obviously, there's going to be some severity to the story, but it's still easy to get a rather paper thin story, a very predictable story. But when I watched that, it was like a very chilling, personal. Like it seemed like an important story you're watching, and you're like, important shit's gonna happen. Like this is just the beginning.
Right.
If you haven't watched the trailer, you have to watch it. You have to go check this out.
It was cool.
It
was cool.
It's like
we're not even like huge God of War fans.
That's not I like Devil May Cry. And
I don't dislike God of War, but I've never been like, man, I'm really into God of War. This was just a really cool trailer, and I definitely thought it was worth talking about with people.
It's must watch. At least watch it, and if you don't, at least
definitely
find it to be somewhat interesting.
Definitely watch the trailer, guys. It was pretty cool.
I mean, I sent it to my dad and my girlfriend who don't even care about video games. I was like, look at this. This is coming out soon.
Right.
Does this not blow your mind?
But yeah, so we have a ton of games to talk about. I mean, we could talk a lot more about God of War, but the next game on the list for the Sony conference.
That was one of my 4.
What, God of War?
Yeah, that's one of my 4 most highly anticipated.
For sure. I think this one is too. And now, to be 100%, I don't think that this game is a PS4 exclusive.
Which one?
The Last Guardian.
I think that is a PS4 exclusive.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
regardless. Shadows of the Colossus. It's the company that did Ico, Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
And they did one other game too. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember.
They've done probably a couple of games.
Those were like their big games. That was Shadow of the Colossus was a PS2 exclusive.
Yeah.
Ico was a PS2 exclusive.
At least if these games aren't exclusive, these are the games that were talked about at the Sony conference, let's say. Because obviously there are games that get announced at each conference that aren't necessarily exclusive. But yeah, The Last Guardian looks amazing. It looks like a really emotional game. Like I don't think that the gameplay on a second-to-second basis is going to be like, whoa, this is like the best gameplay that you get from a game, but I think the story is going to be like a mastercraft. I feel like the story is going to be really personal, and it's going to tug at your heartstrings, and I think it's going to be one of the more interesting games that we've seen in the past couple of years. It seems different than most everything else we've seen.
You watch it and you want to at least see the story, but I don't know if it's one of those things where if I just was seeing someone play it on the couch through the whole playthrough, if that would be enough for me to to get the feeling of experiencing it, because it seems like such a visual experience. Even just the way your main character is this little boy runs, it's so believable in some ways. And
the mystery of this game. I mean, this game has been in development and talked about for 10 years now. It's supposed to be a PlayStation 3 game. It's been delayed. It's had this really kind of troubled history throughout its development. And there's just
close to 10 years this game's been.
There's just this weirdness to this game that I think has a lot of people really entranced, and it just seems like it has a lot to. There's a cool story. There's 2 stories there.
Yeah. And you don't really know who for sure the Last Guardian even is. You know there's obviously 2 main characters, and that's it. And it's going to be, a puzzle game, but
kind of.
It's something about it. It just seems.
It seems cool. I'm just glad it's coming out because they've been talking about it for so long.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a really special experience.
I didn't even know I was excited to see this game. They dropped a trailer for it last year that said it was supposed to come out 2016, which it is. It's coming out in October this year.
Yeah. October.
When I saw October this year, it made me get this huge flood of emotion for a game series. I've never played Ico. I know I should have. I've never played Shadow of the Colossus, but I've seen people play Shadow of the Colossus pretty much all the way through. I get the atmosphere that this game studio develops, and it's gonna be worth putting
cool.
your hands on that game.
Sure. What it made me think of was a Miyazaki film. Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke.
Not Dark Souls, Miyazaki.
Not Miyazaki, but Miyazaki, the film director.
The other Miyazaki.
If you guys have ever seen Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke, you should definitely go and check those films out.
Yeah, they're good.
But moving right along, another really interesting game that we saw last year, but we're seeing a lot more this time.
Yeah, and most of the games on this list that we have here, these are the things that really stuck out to us as up our alley, the Souls alley, right? You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what these are just the games that we're interested in, that we think that we're gonna have fun talking about. This isn't a comprehensive list. But Horizon Zero Dawn is the next game.
Oh yeah.
That game looks awesome.
It does. got a unique atmosphere that you won't find in any other game.
It takes like either like going back in time to a more primitive time with like say like a Souls game or games where there's like more archaic technology, right? Like swords and bows and things like that.
Yeah.
It kind of takes like that. It takes that game type and flips it on its head, where it's a game that takes place in the future in a ruined human society that
is dominated
by robots,
yeah.
but humans have fallen back.
They're still there.
Well, no, but I mean they've fallen back as far as their technological and the way that they go about their daily lives. They're using bow and arrows again.
But it's not just a bow and arrow. I mean, it's
there's more going on there.
Technology that they use, but it's primitive.
But they're not using rifles. They're not using rocket launchers. But it's in the future, further than now. It's past the apocalypse basically. So it's kind of watching like a different like humanity on Earth at a different time, almost like cavemen. But it's the second cycle where humans are kind of coming back up to their,
It's a little caveat. We discussed 2016, 2017, probably 2018, this stretch of time that we have with the 4K systems coming out, which is all E3's about, this and that. Can we all just be so grateful to be alive as gamers in a time where just these studios are feeling the pressure to perform? Only the good games are really getting to the surface at this point. Like Dark Souls, which used to be this cult classic, is now like the top of the crop. You know what I mean? Like that is the standard.
Well, and it's inspiring games,
exactly,
left and right, and we're seeing the shockwaves of the Souls series and those shockwaves rippling through the rest of the medium.
Yep.
Little influences here and there, things that developers like, just pulling them from the Souls series.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that Souls is the first to do everything that they're doing, but
no, it's just kind of like
basis.
Almost.
You can see the influence for sure.
Mm-hmm. In a lot of these things.
The next big one that was announced at Sony, Resident Evil Biohazard.
7. Resident Evil 7.
Well, the way they did it though.
Yeah.
Is it 7? They had the thing
7.
But then Resident Evil, the word evil came through the Roman numeral 7.
Yeah.
So it's either Resident.
When I saw it on like the IGN list of games that were going to be at Gamescom, it said Resident Evil 7. So
I don't know, the way that they presented it was weird. But then it had the word Biohazard on it, which was really cool because that's actually what it's called in Japan. And I think it's interesting that they're, kind of just pulling that into the North American sphere. And I don't know. I always thought it was cool. Like Biohazard was a cool name, but so it's going to be a VR experience as well as a traditional first-person game experience, I guess, which is really cool because I don't want to be. I'm excited about VR, but I don't want to be forced into it. You know what I mean? I want to be able to do it if I want to, and it's awesome to have that option, especially with a game like Resident Evil that everyone's going to want to play. So they could have been dicks and just been like, VR only, and that would have been a decent way of suckering a lot of people into getting VR.
It seems that game companies are getting rid of some of their bullshit lately, and they're just realizing that people don't put up with that stuff, and that if they want to sell games, they have to cover all the appeals, man. And they're doing a good job of, you can play this whole game in VR, or you can play this whole game without VR. You can get a similar experience. It just depends what you want to do.
Right.
Resident Evil 7 looks tight. It looks badass. It looks creepy as hell. It's going to be... I guess it's got to be first person the whole time. It looks like it might be first person the whole time, but it looks like it's going to have that like Resident Evil 4 level of severity and of exploration. And
well, because what made the original Resident Evil games creepy, like, before, Resident Evil 1, 2, like, the way you would move through a level, you were so cumbersome. Like, you couldn't navigate very easily, and you couldn't move very fast. And you
realistic in that
and
way.
the camera was fixed, so you would be going around a corner, and the way they would have it is someone would come out at you, and you have no idea, because it was coming from, like, an area where you couldn't see. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
It looks like they're going back to that, kind of. With the darkness and the exploration, and it's...
Resident Evil 6 was garbage, so
yeah, they've
glad.
dropped the ball. They dropped the ball big time. They set a huge standard for themselves, or they set the bar high for themselves with Resident Evil 4, because that was a very superb game, and it's still a superb game, and still stands the test of time pretty well. You can go play it, and because of the nature of the gameplay and how they did it, it still is good. It's good.
That was, I even liked Resident Evil 5 for the time,
Yeah.
I don't think I could go back and really enjoy Resident Evil 5 as much as I could 4.
No,
but at the time, 5 was still fun.
Of the community for the most part, I would say.
And the other notable thing from the Sony conference, Crash Bandicoot Remastered. That's just noteworthy just in and of itself because it's...
I mean, you grew up playing it.
A lot of people grew up playing Crash games, and I'm not saying that those games are the best games out there and that I really even want to play that, but I just think it's cool that they're doing that because
it's cool to think that future generations of gamers are going to grow up on Crash Bandicoot like we did. They're just going to get a much more polished, better
people
version.
Have been wanting it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The crowd freaked out
They
when
couldn't
announced
believe it. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
We sat and watched almost 5 hours of E3 content today and discussed it before this it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cooler than I thought it would be, to be honest. I usually just watch the clips of the games I like and kind of skip the whole experience, and it's pretty cool. It was fun.
Yeah, E3's
gotta be excited.
E3 is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next up we have Microsoft, but I guess we're getting pretty close to the
halfway
middle of the episode here. So we'll go ahead and toss it over to Clip of the Week, and when we come back, we will talk about Microsoft and the 3 rumored projects coming from Software. Welcome back, guys. Hope you enjoyed Clip of the Week. So getting back into it, we are going to talk about the 3 rumored From Software titles in development right now.
That's right.
That's exciting news.
There's been some Japanese interviews with Miyazaki where some things have been concerned. They are concerned. I'm concerned.
I'm concerned about you.
Confirmed. Yeah. They've popped up all over Reddit. 3 confirmed IPs that are being worked on right now, not even counting the DLC for Dark Souls 3, which is also being worked on right now.
Yep. So one of them is supposedly an action RPG.
Similar to a Souls
Similar
game.
to Dark Souls. It says similar to Dark Souls, but tackled from a different angle.
Or like a different environment, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's very vague.
So something like Dark Souls, but different in some way. Mm-hmm. So that's really exciting, obviously. I'm just glad to hear that because part of me was worried that Miyazaki would just go so far off the reservation. You know what I mean? I thought he might just want to do something totally different. What?
They confirmed that the mech fantasy is not something they're working on right now.
Well, yeah, he said that...
Which is a bummer.
Well, but he also said that they can't not do another Armored Core game.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, a new Armored Core game is also confirmed.
Yeah, let's hope they get it right. Maybe Miyazaki will be the head of it, and they'll do it.
I mean, he'll definitely be the head of it. I can't imagine he wouldn't. So basically, an Armored Core game in the future at some point in time is basically confirmed as well. That's exciting news in and of itself, even if it's not in development right now.
Yeah.
What the other IP that he said they were working on, was it a VR experience or something?
They didn't say it was VR. He said they're working on something else, and he said it'll be weird. That was the one they were the most vague about. They said they're working on something else. It's going to be different.
I've also seen that From Software is on a list
for VR games
of game studios confirmed to be working on a VR experience.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
So
they also
that's confirmed.
Bandai Namco. I just read this recently on a couple different forums. Supposedly Bandai Namco and FromSoft are parting ways. Their contract's up. They've both achieved enough success for themselves. They're going to go do some different things. Bandai Namco has a contract with Sony for 2 more games, and who knows what they're gonna be.
Right.
But
I mean, Bandai Namco publishes games with a lot of studios.
They do.
So we don't know for sure if that's going to be a From Software game.
Bloodborne 2.
Nah.
Could be.
I don't think we'll see. I don't think we'll see Bloodborne 2.
Maybe not because it's on the shelves for $15 right now.
Well, that happened. I mean, it came out a year and a half ago at this point. Almost.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But what's interesting, what makes me think that we're not going to see another Bloodborne game is that Miyazaki was never the president of From Software when Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3, when he wasn't in charge when those projects were started. Yeah. So who's to say? I think that I remember reading something where he said that he doesn't like to do sequels.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't.
I think, I don't think it would beyond, beyond possibility that he's just not going to do sequels. So I don't think, if it's up to him, I don't think he wants to do a Bloodborne sequel.
It wouldn't, and it wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
it's a pretty self-contained story.
They can do, it is. And they could do their whole Soulsborne style game in some kind of fantasy setting or anything and make it work with... Yeah. It wouldn't...
Totally. You could throw that formula in so many scenarios. In some ways,
I'm almost glad that Dark Souls is contained. I don't want to say it's dead, because those games will be alive for a long time. Dark Souls 1 is still alive. They just did a huge community event for this. And,
still going on.
Yeah, and so I don't want to say they're dead, but with those games in their little Souls capsule, it might be nice to go into a new Souls-type game, and every item you pick up, you don't know what the heck it is.
Yeah,
you can get that first playthrough experience, because now it's, you get some green grass, grass, and you know what it is, you know what a firebomb is, you know what this is, you know what you're supposed to do with it, and it's that mystery
what
and
effect
wonder
it's gonna have on you.
Gets replaced with a meticulous grid-like destruction of the game where you check every corner, you run past the enemies that you've already killed, and you just the formula. And let's see what they mix it up with. We can talk a few disappointments with E3.
Right. I'm just excited to see what Miyazaki does when he's doing exactly what he wants to do, because he calls the shots. Before, he hasn't been the person. He's been lead director of these games, but they're big heads above him calling the shots and saying, we're doing this and we want you to work on it. And he would say yes, because that's his job. Mm-hmm. Now he gets to be that guy who says, all right, we're going to do this and I'm going to do it. He basically gets to do whatever he wants, deep down exactly what he wants to do. The success
of Dark Souls 3 has given him that power,
Yeah, it's definitely a very successful game. So there's the Weird project, there's the Souls-like project, and then there was one other project rumored. It
was the Armored Core-ish game.
Is that what that was?
That was the second. That was the third rumor. Yeah, something that's in the Armored Core field.
But there's 3 confirmed games. 3 confirmed titles.
Well,
one is
that was how they confirmed it, because of these vague things that he said about Armored Core, about a weird title, and about something Souls-like. Okay. And they all were spoken of as different entities. So that gives us the opportunity to know that. And also, supposedly the Dark Souls 3 DLC is not done. They're working on it right now.
Yeah, right.
So
it'll be a while.
It's kind of cool.
I'm hoping we get an announcement at Gamescom for something. Yeah, I'd be really stoked on that.
Because we didn't hear anything from FromSoft at E3 and and we haven't. Yeah,
I think there's one more day of it. But coming up next, we're gonna just move right into Microsoft's conference here.
Smaller conference.
Gears of War 4. Take it away.
Yeah, Gears of War 4. That's on my list. I grew up playing Gears of War. Love it. It looks like they're doing something good with this one. It looks beautiful. You can play it with PC players. I think they even said, if you buy it on PC, you can also play it on Xbox One. Or if you buy it on Xbox One, you can also play it on PC with one purchase. They just want people playing this game and playing it together. Microsoft is pushing a big movement to get people back to being able to play together. And it's going back to that Halo 2 type of ordeal, where back when Halo 1 and 2 were out, or Halo 1, you could play it on PC or you could play it on Xbox. That was the steamroller that started the Halo 2 and the success of Halo 2. That was what got them going, and they're going back to this. Gears of War The new Gears looks freaking amazing if you like those kinds of games. I love third-person shooters. There's not enough of them out there. The most recent third-person shooter that I played for a decent while, and we put some good time into Star Wars Battlefront. We played that as a third-person shooter for a while, but getting a game that's presented as a real third-person shooter is something that I'm excited for. I know you're excited for as well.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one. We also got the announcement for Tekken 7, Xbox One, PC, cross-platform, cross-compatibility, all that good stuff. I like Super Smash Bros. I like Dark Souls, and I like Tekken when it comes to like fighting like that. You know, like a fighting style game. I haven't gotten into a Tekken game in a long time. I will be getting Tekken when it comes out, and I'll be playing that a good amount. A game where you can just hop in and play 5 or 6 matches, and
right.
10 or 12 minutes is awesome. It's fun.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about.
It's awesome. Overwatch.
Well, Overwatch, but also Gears.
Yeah.
Gears of War 4 is going to be one of those games where I can hop in, play a couple matches. I probably won't even finish or play the story. I'll just play that game online.
It could be fun.
Honest.
It could be
It'll be.
fun,
I'm sure it'll be
but
good.
It just
like,
depends.
I'm not disparaging the story.
I just like multiplayer, you know.
I like multiplayer. That's kind of what I want out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest.
Yep.
So, I'm excited for that.
What else we got from the Xbox conference? Cross-platform between Xbox and PS4, Final Fantasy 15. That's another one of my huge. Probably take a day or two off of work when that one comes out. It's
okay.
We got some new gameplay footage for that. It looks pretty beautiful.
So
what you got? What you got, man?
According to N4G.com, From Software, the developers of Dark Souls 3, are currently working on 3 new games. This was revealed by their president, Hidetake Miyazaki, in an interview. So it looks like, I mean, this is like legit news. This isn't just stuff that people are.
No, you can find the Japanese
that
article
people
and Google
are just talking
translate it
about
for you.
on.
Yep.
On the forums and stuff. The first game will be kind of like Dark Souls series. It will be an RPG and feature dark fantasy environment. Miyazaki also hinted that the second title will be from the Armored Core series. Mm-hmm. The third game will be something different, according to Miyazaki. He didn't reveal much about the third game.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Armored Core, Dark Souls-esque,
Let's hope they get it right.
And a VR experience. Who knows what?
Yeah.
Maybe Kingsfield.
Could be.
Kingsfield, the third. That's
Something
a first person fantasy game. I think PS2 generation.
Yeah.
From Software made. That's honestly what a lot of people say. That's the first Souls-ish type game.
Yeah.
That From Software came out with.
Has a Moonlight Greatsword.
That, dude. I mean, so okay. Let's predict it right now. So I'll say that I was kind of hoping that Armored Core and the Souls-like game would be the same thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're getting another Souls-like game is very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're getting an Armored Core game is super exciting as well.
Yeah.
And then if the VR experience is like Kingsfield or something like that, that's going to be really sick as well.
It could be super cool, yeah. Dungeon crawlers are great.
That could be really cool.
I love a good dungeon crawler.
But anyways, so that is the 3 rumored From Software games currently in development. But for the rest of the Microsoft conference, I mean, obviously Final Fantasy 15 is going to be a big deal. We've talked about that a bit. That's going to be really fun. Both of us are going to play that game. I'm excited to see what that game has to offer. Mm-hmm. We also have Recore, which kind of seems a little bit similar to Horizon.
But more puzzle-based.
A little bit puzzly, but also has some third-person combat in a futuristic, but also kind of not futuristic setting. It's kind of cool.
We can't forget our Wii U title, though.
Okay,
This is we're going to go out with a bang talking about...
One more, Scalebound.
Oh, yeah, that looks interesting.
For Xbox One, that's going to be cool.
Like an anime-inspired Monster Hunter, but also it's like a Dragon Tamer.
Yeah, it's like a third-person like JRPG with like some honestly Souls-like inspired online components.
Mm-hmm.
With
Except
some Monster Hunter influence for sure.
Cheesy anime music.
It looks like it'll be fun. And then Gwent. The official Gwent game got announced. That's pretty exciting. If you've played The Witcher 3, you probably played Gwent and realized how awesome it is.
Some of the dudes I work with, when they played The Witcher 3, got into Gwent.
Yeah, dude,
and said it was
it's
sweet.
really, really fun.
Hearthstone type game, but
Kinda. But yeah, and then
one of the biggest surprises.
What?
This Wii U title.
Oh, what, Zelda?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a surprise. I mean,
the surprise on the
surprise
content
to you.
of the quality of the game and the style and the direction that they're taking away from the traditional Zelda to...
Right.
They said, their developer said, 100 different people could play this game 100 different ways as far as like where they go, what they do.
And
that's not Zelda.
And this
Zelda
doesn't
do that.
And this isn't the first gameplay footage we've seen of Zelda at this E3, but this is definitely the most extensive footage that we've seen.
There's a stamina bar.
There's a stamina-esque bar for when you're climbing or sprinting or doing like the magical spin around attack.
Items have stats on them. You can
there's stats. There's different armor.
You can climb almost anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be like an open world. There's like an extensive crafting system and cooking system.
Yes.
They said you're not gonna find hearts just in the grass anymore. You'll have to find like food, and you can like get firewood and cook it, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be.
It looks like a new direction for Zelda.
I'm honestly more excited about that game than almost anything right now. That game looks fantastic.
I don't even know what I'm.
They show you sneaking through the grass towards a horse that you can sneak onto and tame. I'd assume like either you're gonna just do that and pick a horse,
make that your horse,
or eventually you'll get your own official horse.
Maybe
what if they're different horses? Oh yeah,
who knows?
What if they're like different animals that you can tame and ride and like make mounts?
One of the things, or like the biggest reason I'm excited about this game, I kind of quit caring about Zelda games for a while because it became it's like the similar thing. You go through this formula, you get the Master Sword, and it's like, okay, it's cool, but they're going back to their roots, rewarding exploring, giving you more options, not holding your hand, less NPC dialogue, more gameplay, huge Souls influence. We looked the game up. One of the first comments on the YouTube trailer was like, Dark Souls, The Legend of Zelda, or something like that, or Legends of Zelda Souls, and that's just a random person.
Those comparisons are already being made, and that's awesome to see. Just to really see that we're not the only people out there that can see the Souls influence and radiating through.
Build variety in a Zelda game is almost
unheard of. You can use spears, you can use axes, you can use
who knows what else.
Clubs. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I've got high hopes for that game. I'll probably buy a Wii U just for that game, to be honest.
Yeah, because we'll probably want to play it at the same time. Yeah, they're not too bad. And they're honestly, it's worth having, just to round out the collection of all current gen consoles. It's like, why not?
You're right.
It's kind of nice, just like as a collector.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I was.
Shelves in my room.
Right. That's what I was saying with I'm thinking about putting the Wii U in here just to have
the thing.
The Trinity.
Yeah, we got there's a setup in here, the PS3, PS4, double Xbox Ones.
For Overwatch.
Yeah,
obviously.
We got some Overwatch strats we're working on. We might even put out a little video about that at some point.
Maybe. It's possible.
We got some cool stuff.
We have a lot of videos to edit already.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that editing process. It's gonna be a long week.
We've been catching up.
Yep, catching up, making up for some lost time. We're gonna have another episode of 2v3 out for you guys. We're introducing a new series called Soul Feud.
Stay tuned.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to share those videos with you guys.
2v3, super editing intensive. Soul Feud is something that we can get out quicker and something we'll be able to start just generating a couple more pieces of consistent content. Guerrilla
Warfare, super editing intensive, super filming intensive. Honestly.
We've almost hit 500 subs. I think we're one sub away.
I think we're one sub away from hitting 500 subs.
And we know not everyone watches their stuff.
Incredible.
We get around 100 views per week on any of our videos.
Yeah, without really posting it anywhere.
And we know that you guys are the ones who are probably watching this still.
Right.
You guys are the ones who are still here, and we want you to know that is important to us.
Yeah.
And those 100 views are everything.
Yep. The thing is, if we have at least 100 people out there who really enjoy watching this stuff, and that just means that we have to get the word out a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
Any of you guys out there that enjoy this stuff, if you really enjoy it, like, spread it around. We want to grow. We want to get bigger. We want to be able to do more for you guys and really kind of test the waters and see what we can do and what we're capable of making. That's really what all this is about. So if you guys, if you're here for the first time and you haven't ever seen our content before, like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Spread the hype. We really would really appreciate it, and it really helps with the growth of the channel. And we're forever thankful to the at least 100 of you guys out there who do really tune in every week and kind of come say what's up and jump in the comments and say some positive stuff, and that's awesome. We have way more people that are positive with our stuff than negative. We almost never have people that
it's really helped us push some certain things in the right direction.
Yeah.
Second, for you guys still here, what do you guys think of the setup? We panned back a little bit farther this week. So
it's a little bit different. We're experimenting with some things.
Yeah.
Honestly, your guys' input in the comments means a lot to us because you're really the only people we have to communicate with about this, and we take your criticism and your tips like very seriously.
Yeah, with open arms.
Yeah, honestly, anything we can do to make better content for you guys is what we're interested in. So, anything you guys can offer is always appreciated.
Absolutely.
But with that, I mean, that's another Soulscast in the books.
Just
Episode
like that,
10
it goes by so fast when you're talking about all these exciting games. Man.
I know
it blows me away.
We're honestly, I'm thinking about
when we're
gonna have to make it longer.
I couldn't believe that almost 5 hours had gone by.
I know, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff to take in, man.
Yeah,
but
it is.
But it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, get out there and watch those trailers for those other games.
Yeah,
get hyped.
Yeah, definitely. And not only get hyped, but don't forget, praise the sun. Praise it.
Praise it.
Praise it.
What's that? Eagle Sun.
Praise it.